Have you ever gotten 7 or even 8 hours of sleep and still woke up feeling tired, like you barely slept at all? If so, you're not alone. In today's video, I'm going to explain why this keeps happening, and more importantly, how to fix it, using simple, science-backed tips that actually work. Stick with me till the end. I'll share 3 easy things you can do tonight to start waking up more refreshed tomorrow morning. Alright guys, let's talk about sleep. Just because you sleep for 8 hours doesn't mean your sleep is sleep. It's like eating a bag of chips and calling it a day's worth of food. You technically ate, but you didn't get the nutrients you need. Sleep has different stages: light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep. Each stage is super important for different reasons. Think of it like a video game. You gotta level up through each stage to win. Light sleep is like the tutorial level where your body starts to relax. Deep sleep is where the real recovery happens. It's like finding the health packs and power-ups. During deep sleep, your body repairs tissues, builds bone and muscle, and strengthens your immune system. REM sleep is where your brain goes to work, consolidating memories, processing emotions, and even sparking creativity. This is where you dream, and it's crucial for feeling mentally refreshed. But if those stages get interrupted, even if you're unconscious, you won't feel rested. So when you say, "I slept all night, but I'm still tired," what you really mean is, "I didn't get sleep." If your sleep keeps getting disrupted, your body doesn't get the time it needs to fully recharge, and you wake up feeling groggy and sluggish. Now let's talk about one of the biggest culprits of poor sleep: your phone or laptop at night. Screens, phones, laptops, TVs, you name it, give off something called blue light. And blue light is basically like a shot of espresso for your brain, tricking it into thinking it's still daytime. Blue light messes with melatonin, your body's natural sleep hormone. Harvard researchers found that just 2 hours of screen time before bed can reduce your melatonin levels by a whopping 22%. So even if you're trying to be disciplined and get into bed by 10 p.m., if you've been staring at a screen until then, your brain thinks it's still 8 p.m. What can you do about this blue light bandit? Power down your screens at least 1 hour before bed. Instead of scrolling through social media, pick up a book, listen to some calming music, or try a relaxing activity like stretching or journaling. If you absolutely use your phone or computer before bed, make sure to use blue light filters or night mode. It won't completely solve the problem, but it's a step in the right direction. Let's talk about another sneaky sleep saboteur: eating too close to bedtime. When you eat right before bed, your body is hard at work digesting even when you're trying to sleep. This means your metabolism is revved up, your blood sugar is spiking, and your body is far from relaxed. A few hours after that late-night snack, your blood sugar crashes. And this crash triggers the release of cortisol, the stress hormone. This late-night eating issue becomes even worse if you're reaching for sugary snacks, high-carb meals, or that evening glass of wine. A glass of wine might make you feel sleepy at first, but alcohol actually blocks REM sleep, that crucial stage where your brain processes emotions and consolidates memories. So what can you do to avoid these late-night eating pitfalls? The key is to give your body enough time to digest before you hit the hay. Try to finish your last meal at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. Avoid sugary treats at night. And as for that nightcap, it might be time to rethink that evening ritual. Your sleep, and your energy levels, will be much better off without it. Remember, we're going for quality sleep here, not just knocking ourselves out. Let's talk about blood sugar, because it's not just something people with diabetes need to think about. It plays a huge role in everyone's sleep quality. If your blood sugar is on a roller coaster ride throughout the day, spiking after meals and then crashing a few hours later, your body goes into stress mode. Low blood sugar in the middle of the night can really mess with your sleep. It can wake you up suddenly, leaving you feeling disoriented and groggy. Low blood sugar triggers the release of adrenaline and cortisol, those fight-or-flight hormones that are great for dealing with emergencies but not so much for a peaceful night's sleep. Even if you don't fully wake up, these blood sugar dips can pull you out of deep sleep, preventing your body and mind from getting the restorative rest they need. The Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine published a study that found a strong link between poorly managed blood sugar and poor sleep quality, including daytime fatigue, difficulty concentrating, and mood swings. So, how can you keep your blood sugar stable and avoid those sleep-disrupting crashes? It all starts with making healthier food choices throughout the day. Make sure you're eating enough protein with your meals. Think lean meats, fish, beans, lentils, or tofu. Don't skimp on fiber. Load up on veggies, fruits, whole grains, and legumes. And don't forget about healthy fats. Include avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil in your diet. Most importantly, try to avoid snacking on sugary treats throughout the day. Remember, stable blood sugar equals better, deeper sleep. Now that we've tackled the big sleep disruptors, let's talk about some sneaky habits that might be quietly sabotaging your sleep without you even realizing it. First up, inconsistent sleep times. If your bedtime and wake-up time are all over the place, you're basically giving your body jet lag without the plane ticket. Your body thrives on routine, and that includes sleep. Try to stick to a consistent sleep schedule as much as possible, even on weekends. Next up, caffeine. While that morning cup of coffee can give you the boost you need to start your day, caffeine can linger in your system for up to 8 hours. So that afternoon latte might be the reason you're tossing and turning at 2 a.m. If you're sensitive to caffeine, it's best to cut yourself off by 2 p.m. And if you're really struggling with sleep, you might want to consider reducing your overall caffeine intake, or even trying a caffeine detox for a few weeks. Now let's talk about your sleep environment. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary for rest and relaxation, not a source of stimulation. This means minimizing noise and light as much as possible. Invest in some blackout curtains to block out any streetlights or early morning sun. If you live in a noisy environment, consider using a white noise machine or earplugs to drown out any distracting sounds. And finally, make sure your bedroom is cool, dark, and well ventilated. The ideal temperature for sleep is around 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Sweet dreams are made of this, your action plan for better sleep tonight. So there you have it, guys. Now you know why you might be waking up tired even after a full night's sleep, and more importantly, you have the tools to fix it. Remember, these tips are all about working your body's natural sleep rhythms, not against them. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more no-fluff health and productivity content. And be sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Got a question about sleep? Drop it in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys, and I read and respond to as many comments as I can. And remember, sleep isn't a luxury, it's your brain's recharge station. Fix it, and your whole life starts to feel easier.